Hello, Tomies. The DM Dave here. Just some quick announcements before we get into our episode. Our first announcement is that we're going to be at SaltCon. SaltCon is a little gaming convention here in Utah, and it is being held on March the 2nd through the 5th of 2023. We're going to be there. We're going to have our own little table, so come visit us, and we'll have some merch there as well for you guys to purchase. I will also be running some games there, so if you guys are new to D&D and want to learn how, I will specialize in how to teach people how to play. Or if you just want to sit down and play with me, you're more than welcome to come as well. I will also be participating in a panel with some other podcasters here in Utah, so that'll be a fun thing for you guys to join as well. For more details about what's going to happen in SaltCon, keep listening to our Solemns column. There will be dropping more information as we receive it and as things get planned out. The second announcement that I have for you is that we have a mailbag coming up. Submissions are coming in now, and they'll be received all the way up to January 31st. That'll be the last day we receive it. That's the cutoff date. How do you submit a question, you ask? Well, there's many different ways. Through Twitter, you can ask us, through Instagram, or on our Facebook fan page. But the best way that you guys can submit a question is through our email, and that is chaosbardpod@gmail.com. That's the best way that we can categorize it and get it on the list so we can answer them. What questions can you ask exactly? And you can ask questions about the story, you can ask questions about our characters, or just ask us questions about us, as the individual peoples that play. All questions are open, and make sure that your questions are family friendly. Well, that's all the announcements that I had, so let's get to the episode. You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. Let's get ready to roleplay. In this corner to my left,
Henley, the Horrible.
Every time we break her.
I lost it now, gosh. Lila the Magnificent and Garatha the Angry.
Roscoe the Man. Nobody likes Roscoe.
And Fenrir.
No, Fen.
Fun. He's the crowd favorite. Though we all know he's going to lose. Your thing would just be boo.
And I go, yeah. No matter what, win or lose, I'm like, yeah.
They love me. Okay.
Last time, I was able to catch up with the group, me and Joanna. We flew down the cliff after I jumped off the cliff, and we caught up with Silenor, and then we went into this secret entrance that led us into this cave. And as we were in the cave, we met up with Roscoe, Lila Garatha, Boudreaux, and Henley. And as we were in there, Boudreaux was talking to these two creatures that looked like, I'm assuming it was green skin, and they looked kind of like lizards. I had read about them in books. It was kind of cool seeing them in person. And one of them looked pretty frail and elderly, and they took him upstairs to nap, I guess.
She's taking a nap.
I guess we're going to solidify plans to catch some people that were captured.
That's exactly what happened. Now, we are... Yes, Roscoe.
Side note, I'm just thinking about it. I imagine while I was previous episode in the back throwing knives at the wall.
Yeah.
I was catching Fenrir up on kind of everything that's happened, why Selenor was with us, what's kind of where we're at in the process, so that he's aware.
Perfect. That makes things a lot easier. So you're caught up, Fenrir, on everything. You guys are now all on top. You just laid Uncle Popcorn in bed. He's now resting. And you guys kind of leave that little room back into the big room. And Janky just starts kind of sniffing people out.
Like literally sniffing?
Yep, literally sniffing.
I love it.
Boudreaux, this is nothing
Nope, I don't do
uncommon for you.
anything.
They're checking out their environment, sniffing around. So each one of you, he's up in your business type idea, just sniffing around.
Henley gets not so close.
Oh, they don't like that, Janky.
Well, that's how I figure things out. You know that. We got to check out our environment.
I know. That's what I said when I came. But I came up to this old lady and she didn't like it. When I first came into contact with human or whatever.
Okay, so how do...
So you're supposed to be like, look, I'll show you.
Okay.
And I turn to Henley and I go, hey, girl.
Listen, flashback to episode 1.
Oh, a girl.
Who are you?
I just realized that that's probably why Boudreaux does that. He's like, this is how you get to know people. I'm sorry. That's so funny.
Hey, girl, who are you?
Okay, I'm sorry. We can go back.
So Janky, does the same thing. Gets this, cheesy smile on his, weird, teethy smile. And in Draconic, he's like, hey, girl.
Yeah, that good. She like that.
Yeah. Does the same thing to Garotha. Hey, girl. Except Garotha
is it
has
in
no idea.
common?
No, it's in Draconic.
Boudreaux's giggling a little bit.
Henley translates. He said, hey, girl.
And then he looks at Roscoe and says the same thing. And he looks at Fenrir and says the same thing.
Henley says, hey, man.
And
No,
Boudreaux's
he
just
says say girl every single time.
I know, but Henley translates it as hey, man.
Then looks at Boudreaux and is like, was that good?
yeah. Yeah.
While they're having this conversation, I'm going to lean over to Henley and be like, can you teach me Draconic? This is weird.
I don't know if I'm good enough to teach.
Just the basics.
Donde está el baño?
Yeah, pretty much. Where's the bathroom? Hi.
I can
Hungry.
try, but their dialect is weird.
Okay, so Jane, you're kind of filling him in on Boudreaux. You're filling him in on. Don't be
I'm
awkward.
teaching him, what are they called again?
When I'm human,
And I'm gonna be. Gonna blow my horn.
Gonna live the high life.
Sorry. What were you gonna say, LT?
I don't know.
Okay, then we'll just. So you're just filling him in on
Customs.
as best as Boudreaux understands the customs of personal space. Is there anything that you guys want to discuss before we move on to the next adventure?
After he's gone through the basic customs, I'll go up to Boudreaux and be like, why'd he call me hey girl?
Well, that's how you supposed to,
Introduce yourself?
yeah.
Boudreaux, that's not how most polite society actually introduces themselves, is
I
it?
met this guy though, and he told me that's how you do it. He told me to smile like a nice looking guy, and then everybody love you. Mm-hmm.
So everybody loves you anyway.
Yeah, because I have a good smile. That was his smile, by the way.
Boudreaux's smiles come with sound effects.
I mean, you do have a real nice smile, dear, but the hey girl's not necessarily needed. Usually it's how do you do or nice to meet you.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do? That's funny. That's a good joke. I like that.
Okay.
I don't think she meant that as a joke, Boudreaux.
I'm just gonna go back over here by Joanna now.
Jinky, how do we? Where's Posh?
I
Like, do you know how to get there?
I interpret for him.
Okay. And he shrugs, and he's like, "She was up in the canyons up there. Not in the canyons, but she led us to the canyons. She pointed us in this direction, and then she continued heading north. She went back down.
How
underground.
how long of a journey is it from here to where you guys parted ways?
Oh, it was probably about 3-4 moons.
So not too far, less than a week. 3-4 moons, that's 3 or 4 nights? 3 or 4 sleeps?
Yes. And just so the audience knows, Boudreaux is translating this back and forth.
And could you lead us there?
And he looks towards Uncle Popcorn. He's like, I'm not leaving his side.
You're not gonna leave his side, and we can't until we get the staff too.
Right. But he would be willing to in the future.
Yeah. Janky good, yeah. Janky good. He gives him a thumb up. Janky a thumbs up.
Henley is going to walk over to Willow. So, Willow,
Yeah.
I need to go do some reconnaissance in town without being seen. Is there a way out of here that is more covert?
Yeah. I mean, there's a little passageway that me and Boudreaux take to get in here.
Can you show me?
Yeah. It's just right over here. So he takes you over. So there's the big room, right, that you guys are standing in. He takes you over to this trap door. And he opens it up. He's like, yeah, we just go down here. And then we come up into the healer's hut.
Okay,
Back in the bedroom when me and Boudreaux were in our little hammocks.
that's perfect. And Henley pulls up her hood.
But you're gonna go into the hollow.
Should I not?
I mean, what kind of things are you gonna be looking for?
More information about how they were captured.
Oh, you probably want to go talk to Juna. She's kind of in charge right now since Jakaris is not here.
Is she trustworthy?
As trustworthy as a tiefling is, I guess.
Okay.
Jakaris trusts her, so.
Yeah, at that point, I would probably pipe up and say, I've worked with her, and I was going to go talk to her anyway. She's probably going to be one of the most trustworthy people right now we can get in here, apart from present company.
And do you know by chance where she's normally located at this time?
Well, I mean, she could be, doing some scouting herself, or she could be in the offices, I guess. Or she could be checking down. I would guess she's bound to be in the hollow somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I could walk out there and check things out before you go there and deliver a message, maybe.
That's a wonderful idea. Could
Okay.
she meet us here?
Yeah, I could possibly. She doesn't know about this place.
Or in the healer's hut?
Yeah, I could bring her to the healer's hut.
Tell her that Roscoe would like to meet with her, and because I don't know, she'll know my name.
Correct. She'll know Lila Garatha, and she'd know Roscoe more than she'd know everybody else because she worked with them more. Correct. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I'll be right back. And you see him just crawl down the hole, and it's a dark hole. So eventually, like within 5 or 6 feet, he just disappears. About half hour, 45 minutes later, you see him pop out of the hole. And he's like, okay, she's waiting in the front door. So,
Okay. You and I, Roscoe?
Yeah.
Okay. I make sure that I have the map
okay.
and everything so that we can discuss things.
Is anybody else going to go with them? No on a Fenrir? Going up to meet Juna.
Garatha wants to, because she wants to discuss like tactics and things like that. But at the same time, she thinks it's if the two others are going, if something were to happen, somebody with some sort of muscle should probably stay back.
Okay.
No offense, Fenrir.
I think the less people, the better that go. So I think 2 people is plenty.
All right, well, I'll lead the way. And he starts climbing down the hole, disappears again.
Henley summons dancing lights because it's dark.
Okay. So Henley goes down first? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you start heading down, but as you're like looking down, you don't, and the dancing lights is going around, you don't see a bottom. And eventually, same thing with Roscoe, when you end up going down, because you can see her lights, but they only do light around her and the ladder that's in front of her. They seem to dip down, but there's nothing. Then all of a sudden, it feels like you guys get flipped around and now you're climbing up. It's a weird sensation. And
Henley's like,
and you look up, and there's Willow sitting on top, going, come on up.
you got a little warning. Would have been nice.
Oh, sorry, I'm just used to it.
Henley's like trying to stop herself from panicking a little.
Right, and your dancing lights come out of the hole and you climb out. Roscoe, same kind of idea. Suddenly you were climbing down.
Kind of look down the hole and be like, that was weird.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been pretty handy. He shuts it and then he covers it with a rug. He's like, yeah, we got this off some merchant tiefling guy that was here a while ago.
Merchant
Henley
tiefling,
rolls her eyes.
Yeah, he got an interest in Rochelle and her work and stuff like that, and she asked him if she had some kind of contraption like this, and he was able to find one.
What a guy.
Yeah, I think he was a crook, but
He gets around, apparently.
But yeah, Juna's over here. So you guys go out into the main area, and there before you is a purple tiefling. Her eyes are pure yellow. Like, you don't see pupils or anything. They're just pure yellow. Her horns are very thick, tightly round horns, like a ram. Just a lot more tighter. She's pretty tall and lanky, but she's athletic built. And she has a few daggers in her belt. Like, you can tell by the way she's dressed, she's more stealthy than more hand-to-hand combat type idea. Lurks from the shadows. Roscoe, you would know that she deals more with that. She's pretty much the head scout for Dracarys. If Dracarys needs something scouted on, figured out, that's who he talks to. And she's just been the one that he's depended on for a lot of that stuff. And she stands there and her arms are folded. So, you wanted to talk to me?
It's Juna, right?
Juna Locke.
Okay. So I'll walk up and be like, good to see you again, Juna.
Yes, I did not expect you to come back.
Oh, surprise. What's going on here? We've heard some kidnappings and some bandits have been causing some problems and stuff. Can you kind of give us a rundown of the situation here?
Yes.
And I'm Henley, by the way.
Pleasure to meet you. Yes, we've had lots of issues with these bandits lately. They just came in one day, about a week after your group left, and they've just been harassing us more than anything. Then they took Bellorin and the cleric that was here.
Do you know who's behind it, or?
I don't know names. We've been trying to get into their little hideout to see if we can find some reconnaissance, but they have locked down the mines as well. And they have some kind of scarecrow.
Scarecrows, right?
Yes, we have lost many to them.
Yeah, there's something else. Henley, can I borrow that map for a second?
Yeah, here you go.
So, we've got some information that might prove useful to you.
She takes the map.
This is a magic map. I call him Mappy.
Do not call him Mappy, do you really?
Yeah. Well, apparently I did in the last episode a lot, so it's now a thing. I'll kind of, show her, explain to it kind of how it works and everything. Originally and I'll kind of give her a quick summary of what we've been doing and stuff and explain to her. We had just left Avalon. We were on our way back when we found out that Mendrik, who'd been kidnapped by Marlowe, and we know that they are both up in the caves. We got about 25 hooligans up there with scary scarecrows. I'll explain the scarecrows to her. They've got Mendrik's wife, or we've got Mendrik's wife. They've got Mendrik. He wants the deed to the Hollow. We've got some companions that we've met on our way out. I'm going to ask her, actually. It was like,
Okay.
do you know of anyone here in the Hollow that sent some bounty hunters after us?
No, I don't know who would.
All right.
Except Mendrik. He's a dirty scoundrel.
Yeah, we're here to save him.
I don't know why. Personally, I think he's the one who invited the bandits, and they decided to turn on him.
It's possible, but would you believe me if I think it was the other MW, Marlowe?
I don't know who this Marlowe is.
Apparently, there's some bad juju between them, and he used to own a company that Mendrik now is in charge of, and he's just out to get him. Anyways, he's up in the caves, kidnapped these guys, got the bandits up there. We've got the group of bounty hunters that were chasing us are now working with us to get into the cave because they've got a bounty on someone else that's working with Marlowe.
You can't make this stuff up.
Right? Scarecrows are evil, demonic, possessed by evil voodoo, created by potentially hags. We saw one. I didn't see one. Henley, you didn't see it either, right? You just came in afterwards.
I just felt it or something at the location, but it was Fenrir and Boudreaux that saw the thing.
They cast blight and suck out your soul and kill you.
These ones did not.
No, what did these guys do?
One froze one to death, and the other one burned the other one.
Great. They're capable of more than one trick.
One trick, but that also might make them easier to defeat.
Baby?
It'd be like maybe if we could get them to attack each other.
I don't know.
Anyways, different topic. We'll let Fenrir know on that one. So that's kind of where we're at. 2 hours later.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of issues. But perhaps you have answered one of my worries. During our scouting, we have found that they have people in the canyon walls where the scarecrows are. And she's like pointing on the map. Here seems to be their main entrance. As far as I know, the only entrance.
There is another entrance. I will point at it on the map. And I'll click the map and have the time change.
Gotcha.
At the little dotted lines and everything.
Very interesting. But it looks like here is where they have been keeping the miners. When they took Bellerin and they took Rochelle and that scoundrel Mendrik, they also took over the mines. They have took all the miners and put them in this mine here. And she points to like the fourth mine up. That was our most prosperous mine, that we've been able to find lots of ore. Good ore. And not too many monsters, rust monsters, or any issues there. Yes.
And just, that's not the same location that Mendrik and Marlowe were at, correct?
Correct. It's not.
Okay.
But it's on the map. It's the path to the back door.
Okay.
You could say.
Yeah.
It's through that mine.
But I did not realize that it went so deep.
Surprise.
'Cause most of that is, giant holes in the ground and caverns. so we never really explored those.
It's fair.
But we are not mans to go after them, because the thought was to go free the miners, because a lot of our warriors are up there as well. A lot of those who brought back and forth the supplies are locked up there as well. Their conditions, I do not know.
How many people do you think are up there in that mine?
I would guess about 10, and probably about 3 of them are capable of fighting.
Okay.
I know our 2 dwarven friends that always, Naja and Thanik, were up there.
Okay.
But my thinking is they're probably dead because they would have put up a fight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's right. What about, as far as you've got people here in the city, anybody, Ricardo, is he still alive and kicking? Is he considered an asset at this point? Or do we have anyone else here in the city who might be useful and helpful?
An asset would be generously said about him. My suspicions is that he's the one who has been spying on us.
Really?
Nothing proven, just my suspicion.
What leads you to that suspicion?
Well, as you know, he's been on guard duty, watching, and he has been found not on guard duty, specifically when they came in. The bandits invaded.
Interesting. And what did you ask him about that? What did he say about it?
He claims that he was at sneaking beverages from Colin's place.
It's also a possibility. What other information do you have that could be useful? I don't know that I want to track into the city right now. If we need to, we can. But if you've got enough information.
The other information is that up the Crimson Pass Road, there was another group up there, hiding in the trees.
Group like?
There seemed to be a heavily armored man with 2 orcs.
Oh, yeah. Those are the guys I told you about earlier. They're with us.
So they are friends.
At this point, yes.
At this point.
Yes, they were the bounty hunters I told you about earlier that came after us. But we struck a deal with them, and they let us go. And that's how we ended up getting to Avalon. And we held up our end of the bargain. We just happened to come across them on our way up that path. They're heading in the same direction of us. And it's kind of the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of situation. They have no qualms with us. I feel them to be reliable. Henley?
It's more like it's mutually beneficial to be with us on this point.
Mutually beneficial for all parties involved. So
there's a bounty in the cave they want.
Yeah, one of the guys that works with Marlowe, I think. I'm assuming.
I see.
So we've got that guy and a couple orcs.
Do you remember his name?
Ivan?
Not Ivan's name. Who
The
their
bounty.
target is. I don't remember either.
Can I
It
roll
sounds like
for
the-
it?
Yeah, roll a just roll a straight intelligence check.
Nope.
The 13?
Because it was just like earlier that day to yesterday. So
Yeah.
what'd you get, Henley?
A 6.
6. Okay,
And
you
I have a
don't
+4.
you don't quite recall, but you remember it was Cloth Des.
Cloth Des. I believe the name, the guy there after is Cloth Des. That means anything to you? Didn't mean
Does
anything
not.
to me either, but he's up there
Apparently he's an ex-paladin.
from Dengal.
Dengal.
It's quite a distance for him to be.
Yeah. And ex-paladin doesn't bode well.
No. But if they are willing to help us, I'd rather risk their lives than any of these folks.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard mid-show break. I'm your host, Rupert Bumpkin, from the Rocky Talkie Gnome Radio Network. First item of business is the 5-star reviews. Remember that Solemn will give you a shout-out and read your review on Solemn's column. Then he will review your review. It's great fun. Second is the Ko-Fi. This is our Patreon merchandise store. You can purchase keychains, coloring pages, and MP3s of our songs. You can also commission to feed the cast, or write a letter to Dear Boudreaux. If you are interested in becoming a patron, there are 3 tiers, each with varying rewards, including a full post show, DM Dave's deep dives, and coloring activity book with exclusive art. Go to ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard. That is Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard, and help us grow. And last but not least, the biggest way you can help us is share us with your friends and family. That is all, folks. Back to the show.
What about you? Do you want to come with us on this, or are you going to stay here and kind of keep things under control in the city?
I suspect that if I wince, they might think something is up.
Okay.
I've been trying to stay face here to let them know that we are obeying their commands.
Okay.
We have been given strict commands, probably by this Cloth Des, or as one of his associates, that we are to remain here, that he has watchers in here, and that if there's any try to break free, people will lose their lives.
Any word on Dracarys?
He's been out of my reach. I do not understand why. Why he would go at such a time.
I don't know why, but I'm sure it was pressing.
When he told me he was leaving, he did not give me any information. And he left with that...
Tiefling, right?
No, I don't know of any tiefling.
No?
But he left with a wood elf named Varil.
Interesting.
He's been gone for about a week now.
Okay.
Is that when things sort of went bad?
Soon after, yes. About a day later, this all happened.
Somebody knew he left.
I told you they've been watching for some time, I'm certain.
Interesting. I'm going to look at Henley and be like, I don't know that it's wise for us to go out this door into the city.
No. And I think we have all the information that we can get.
I believe that if we act quickly, that we may be able to gain some kind of surprise on them. If your friends are capable, they could take things out quickly and efficiently.
They sure took care of those gnolls easily.
Yeah. And I mean, their orcs are twice the size of me. 3 times the size of me.
3 times.
I'm sure it wasn't a plot thing or anything.
Not that I don't trust her, because I do. Mm-hmm. But I just
Want to get a read?
get a read on her and make sure, like, she's been talking about, a spy inside. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe it's her, but can I roll, like, an insight to see if maybe I'm picking up that maybe
Could I as well?
Yeah.
she's hiding something?
Yeah, go ahead. And Roscoe, I'll give you advantage since you know her a little bit more.
Okay.
You're familiar with the way she talks and things.
22.
Okay.
I also got a 22.
Nice.
Twinsies!
Cheesy.
That was off of a natural 20, by the way.
Oh, natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay, even better. Okay, Roscoe, you're kind of picking up the frustrations. You picked up, Henley, you picked up a little bit of frustration and stuff, but you can tell that she's worn out. That she's just done with the situation, but there's really nothing she can do.
Right.
And she is definitely a person that's like, do this and ask forgiveness or ask questions later. And with Jakar's being gone,
a lot of the responsibility is now on her shoulders to keep things going, and she's not comfortable in the situation at all. She has all these people under her that are counting on her, that are looking up to her, and this is not her comfort zone. But she's trying to put on a face. Right. You can definitely tell that she's putting on some face that way. Yes.
Picking up on that and everything, I'm going to look at her and it's like, can I trust you with something?
Of course.
Okay. I'm going to pull off both of my bracers.
Okay.
I'm going to give them to her. I'm like, these are very special. They're very special to me, and I will want them back when I come back.
And she like holds them in hand. Obviously, they're too small for her.
Right.
And she just looks at them. She's like, "What?"
They're magic, and once you kind of get to know them, and and they actually, and I will show her.
Okay.
Pull out these daggers.
Okay.
And that you can throw them. You can use them to shank people. If you throw it at your target and it misses, they just disappear. But they're just kind of in there. I've got a feeling that you're being watched, and I want you to have a backup in case something happens and you get captured. But I will be back for these.
It's okay.
Don't hurt them.
They will be used to hurt others.
Great.
I love Jonah.
Very good answer.
But
she kind of like nods, and she's still a little confused, but she's accepting. So, what is the plan? Do we meet with your friends and discuss?
Well, our friends are waiting for us outside the city already. We've already met with them a little bit. We came in to do some reconnaissance and kind of get the feel of what's happening in here. I think it's best that you just play along. We were never here. Keep their eyes on the city as much as possible, but don't cause problems. Don't get yourself in trouble. But if you can keep their eyes off of us going up there, that might give us the edge we need to do what we need to do and get everyone out of there safely.
I think I can pull that off.
Henley, anything else?
I take Willow aside.
Okay.
And I'm like, is there enough room in the caverns for the residents of the Hollow to be safe?
Well, there is quite a bit of room in there. I mean, the one little spot that we had is not, it goes deeper, and there's other spots. I mean, there's like a nice little steady stream also down a little walkway. But I mean, there's not a lot of light, and it's kind of cold. So if you don't have, a fire in there, and since we closed off the cavern door, fires will fill up that cavern a lot with smoke, and I mean, but it would fit everybody, but it probably would raise a lot of suspicions. And plus, this door is supposed to be secret.
I know, that's why I put you over here.
I mean, but it could fit everybody.
Okay. Should we tell Juna as like a last safety measure?
And he like looks over at Juna, and he's like, maybe later. I don't know.
Okay. Keep it in the back of your mind if things get dire. Yeah.
I mean, if things get dire, then yeah, you can bring them through. But it's, I don't want to endanger everybody here going down with those creatures.
That's true. Okay. And then huddle over.
Okay. You just let me know when your plan is in action, and we'll go from there.
Leave it to us, Juna.
Also, they did end up taking their friends. That's Oscar. When they came in, they took him too.
That can't bode well for Oscar.
Oscar. Oh, Oscar. That Oscar. Okay. It's like I know that name somewhere. Where is it?
When they took Bellerin, he was in there, and they took him as well. But they, of course, didn't leave him shackled.
Right. We'll keep an eye on him. That might be an asset inside if we can get to him. Or an enemy on the inside. Just one more. So.
I know many people here are stressed, are hungry. They want to leave, but there's no way for them to leave safely.
We will get it.
Not until Joanna is here.
We will get it taken care of as hastily as possible, and we've got plans to get some relief in here as well. So,
will you be taking Joanna with you?
Yes.
It would be a very dangerous place for her to go.
What would you suggest?
She could stay here, hidden in the hut. It would be a safe place for her instead of going in the mines. A dangerous place. I assume she's some rich broad
Well,
who doesn't know how to fight or probably even tie her own shoes.
accurate. Although I think she wears slip-ons.
Proves my point even more.
I want to roll another insight, just
'Kay.
because this seems a little
Suspicious.
sus that she's pushing for Joanna to stay in
Go ahead
town.
and roll it.
I want to roll too.
Okay, go ahead. Roscoe, you still have advantage?
Me.
That is a 16.
8.
8. Yeah, Henley, you're still not picking up, or this time you're not picking up anything. You're just like, oh yeah, that could be a good idea. Roscoe, you're picking up something a little behind it. Like there's more to her thoughts about that. Because it brings to mind of like her talking, getting her here that Joanna talking about how she wasn't, that they just wanted to come here. Willow, when you guys first met him back in the caves, he mentioned as well that they were making demands that when Joanna arrives, get her to them.
Can I do a sidebar with Juna?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm be like, give her the sus look.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, can you and me over here privately for a second?
And she glances at Henley and Willow and starts heading towards that corner.
Henley's probably a little suspicious now.
And I'm just gonna look at her and be like, what's going on? Why the push for Joanna to be here?
She just would be safe here. Under my watch. They wouldn't expect her to be in the Hollow's hut. They'd be waiting for her on the road.
Well, they'd be waiting for her on the main road into the Hollow, but she'd be just as safe with us on the way up the canyon.
I doubt that. There's creatures up there, plus all the bandits. You'll be putting her in the line of damage.
I don't know, because, like, I feel like there's more going on, and Roscoe feels like there's more going on, but he doesn't know how to
Right.
how to push it without saying, exceeding my role knowledge.
Well, with that role knowledge, you do get the idea she's not being completely honest with you.
Okay.
So I understand you're trying to get her to speak, but she's not one to speak a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to try and use my words of persuasion, which
Okay.
sometimes I'm good at. We'll see. I'm going to look at her and I'll just be like, Juna, I don't know what you're not telling us, but we're all on the same page here. We're all on the same team. And if there's information that you're withholding from us that could prove beneficial in the end, We need to know, because at this point, we're the ones going up there risking our necks for this town. You're doing a great job here, and I'm not trying to diminish that in any way, shape, or form. But we're on our way up right now to push out the bandits and whatever's happening up there. And I get the feeling there's something you're not telling me in regards to Joanna. And if that's the case, I need to know, because if it is safer to leave her here, that's fine. But I need to know why we're leaving her here.
Roll a persuasion, and I'll give you advantage on this one too.
Oof. It's a 15.
Okay. You kind of see her take a deep breath. And she looks over at Henley and Willow. And she just shakes her head. I don't understand why we can't just give them what they want. Why go in the back door? Why risk your lives and just give her up? Let them do their business, and then they're gone.
Their business is going to end up with somebody dead. At least one of them, if not both of them.
And I don't care about their lives. I care about these people's lives.
I also care about these people's lives. But if they walk up there and they end up dead, what's going to happen to the people down here? Do you really think it's going to stop? You really think if we just hand it over and turn our backs that they're going to just walk away? They have everything they need. They're already got you guys under control. If you just hand over exactly what they're asking for, they're just going to keep asking. They're going to
What other options do we have? We do not have the manpower. We do not have the lives to risk. You maybe have your friends, but they've been sitting there for weeks, far as I know, and they've been doing nothing except spying on us. Far as I know, they could be a part of whatever they're a part of.
I don't think they had any idea what's happening here. We're here to help. And if you think it's better to leave Joanna here, I will leave her here under your care. But she stays in this hut, and if anything happens to her, I will be coming after you, because it's not right to trade lives. We're trying to save the town and turn the town into what it's supposed to be. And handing over a life for a life like that isn't what the Hollow's about.
And how do you know that they're going to kill her, huh? Far as I know, they just want the deed to the place and they'll be gone.
How do you know they're not, though?
She
And
just
how
shrugs.
do you know they'll leave?
Well, if you want to go risk your life, go ahead.
We're risking our life for you guys. We're risking our life for what this town is supposed to be and what it stands for. It's what we've been doing since we left.
Well, if you want to go risk her life, going through those mines and whatever dangers are back there, that's your choice. She seems to be your asset.
If I agree with you that it's probably safer to leave her here. But if I leave her here, will you give me your word that she does not get handed over? Unless we die.
And she takes a deep breath. You can tell she's just frustrated.
I think we're all frustrated.
Right.
Henley low-key has, like, her hand on her sword hilt.
Because you heard her outburst.
Oh, yeah, because I heard her outburst, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And she just shakes her head. She's like, fine. I'll keep her safe here. I won't turn her in. But you have 3 days.
Can I have 4? I can't get there in 3.
I'll give you a week.
You're the best.
Because I don't know if you'll be dead or not.
If we're not back in a week, hand her over. But
How do you think Joanna's gonna... Oh, I'm not.
Sorry.
You could probably interrupt right now because of that outburst.
Okay. I don't think Joanna will agree to that.
I mean, we can talk to her. I mean, obviously, but I
If
also
she doesn't agree to it, she risks her life in the mines.
I do
If she
also.
agrees with it, she'll be safe here.
It probably will be safer for her here where nobody knows she's here, and she's not hiding from bandits and wolves and bears and were creatures and stuff that could she doesn't know how to defend herself. And with her being there in the cave, we know how many people are up there. We know they've got the scarecrows and what they're capable of. Her odds of survival are far better down here than they are up there with us. And if she doesn't hear back from us in a week, then she can turn the deed over on her own. And nobody will even know she came here with us. She can walk through the front gate and pretend she just came out on her own. Right, Juna?
Yes.
I don't like the idea, but I don't
like it either.
I think it's
And
the
she gives
safest
Juna
idea.
a little bit of a suspicious look.
Either way, we need to head back and talk to everyone else and get things going here.
How did you guys get in here in the first place?
I snuck Roscoe in.
I jumped through a window.
She kind of just eyeballs you up and down.
It's a really high jump.
It was a low window.
Probably a little doggy door.
There's the Juna we all know.
I tossed him.
I didn't realize there was
Don't tell the
windows
elf.
back in your little hideout there, Willow.
You don't ask, we won't tell.
If it affects the security of this place,
It does
I'd
not.
like to know. So be it. Just come back and let me know what you decide upon.
We'll probably send Willow with a note so that you can get back to your duties and don't draw too much suspicion that you've been sitting in a healer's hut for an hour.
Very well.
And we don't draw attention to us walking out of a healer's hut that we never entered.
And she just side eyes you a little bit. And I will wait for your word.
Okay.
She turns around and walks out the door. Oh, shake hands.
Shake hands. We'll wait for
Henley
her to
does not shake her hand.
She doesn't even offer.
wait for her to walk out the door, and then once she's gone, out of sight and everything, head back to the secret tunnel.
Hey, meanwhile, back in the cave.
Woo! What's that lady's name again? The elf?
Silenor.
Silenor. I feel like I noticed her at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm probably attending to Uncle Popcorn.
Yep.
And probably healing him
Yep.
with some powers because he's sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yep.
he's sleeping. And
And you see a lot of his wounds and stuff heal up and stuff.
yes.
And he seems to be breathing a little easier.
And then I turn around and he sees Silenor
Yep.
and he's like, "What? What are you doing here?"
Fenrir invited me.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Fenrir.
What? Was she not supposed to come?
No, she's not supposed to be here. You showed her the rocker.
Well, oops.
And Buddha goes, and then he
Why can't she be here?
think about it, Fenrir, and he knocks on your head a little bit. He goes, think about it. She a part of a group that tried to assassinate us, huh?
We never tried to kill you.
You catch us something? I don't know. I wasn't really
catch
listening.
We tried to catch you for sure.
Yeah, they do stuff like that all the time. And I don't know her. And she just now knows the secret area to like a place where they're like were creatures. And they're like all of these nice people. And Willow, think about Willow. That poor little Willow. Could you imagine if she like came in here and was like, "Hello, Willow," and put a bag over her head and then took him away? Think about that.
Now, Boudreaux.
I didn't think about that. I don't think she'd do that. And he kind of looks over at her and then looks back to you.
Are you worth anything?
I am worth more butterflies than you can put in a barrel.
Well, good thing I don't collect butterflies then, huh?
I'm going to be be really upset because I've been like talking to Joanna and like trying to keep her nerves calm and stuff like that. And so her nerves have kind of gotten on, like not onto me, but I'm now kind of feeding off the nervous energy a little bit. And I am just upset at the fact that he's now yelling at somebody who's been here for a while and at our friend. And I'm done with it. I'm done with all the drama. And I think, Groth has probably had some influence on that. So I'm going to stomp right up to him and be like, now you listen here, Boudreaux. She is a friend of some of your other friends. I don't know if you remember them or not back in Avalon. Yeah, those ones. You be nice to this elf lady now. She did nothing wrong. She has a job just like the rest of us.
Hey, I wasn't getting mad at her.
You listen to me.
I was getting mad at him.
I don't care who you're getting mad at. You're getting mad at both of them. And Fanny did nothing wrong.
I had to think about my family. And look, mistakes are made, okay? But family first.
Yeah, and Fanny's your family too.
That's why I got to talk to him.
Talk a little bit quieter. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there is somebody over there kind of losing her mind. Be considerate.
Who?
Joanna.
Oh, I forgot you was here.
So many extra people.
All right. I'll think about it. But Fanny, you're forgiven. I'm sorry I yelled at you. But seriously, I just got to think about the other people. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you're right, Boudreaux. Maybe we shouldn't have showed her the way.
I mean, if you trust her, I trust you. Keep an eye on her. I don't trust you.
Clearly.
Roscoe.
He doesn't know that you were the one that let him.
No, but last episode, I had the argument to let her come and that I vouched for her and that she was going to come with us so that she could alone collect the information and use her elfie eyes because we didn't know where he was. And you said no. And now because he's vouching for her, it's okay.
Because there's no going back. Trust me, Boudreaux would have gotten mad at you, but this guy's the one that let him in.
So, meanwhile...
I'm going to look all embarrassed so like at my outburst and just walk back to Joanna.
And you see Janky just like looking back and forth. Like he has no idea. He thinks this is normal. Like he's just like...
And I sit Janky down. We sit down on the ground where me and Willow like to play marbles. And I go, listen, Janky. That was called anger. Do you remember anger?
Oh yeah, but Uncle Puck always got angry at us when we'd go mess with his moonshine.
I just got mad because of reasons, but everything's good now. And I just wanted to let you know because you seem a little confused. You don't yell at people just because you want to.
Oh, is that not a normal thing that goes on here?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Metagaming, yes. Oh, okay.
But I did want you to know I love you. And I'm so glad to see you again. And he hugs him.
He takes that very weird that you're hugging him because, of course, in the lizard folk culture, they're not like that. You're definitely lovey-dovey. You like the touching, you like the playing and stuff. Or lizard folk are very not standoffish, but they're just don't have those kind of emotions. And so it's Boudreaux. That's just how Boudreaux is.
Yeah,
but it's still odd to him. He's just like it because they don't understand what the meaning of love is. You know, that's foreign to them. And so you've done this to him several times. So he's just like, I love you too. You smell different.
Yeah, they made me take a bath. But I mudded up, but it's going to take me like a year to get back to what I was.
Yeah. Here, I'll help you.
Oh, okay. What we doing? Where we starting?
I heard some water over here. Like we can go help you.
Oh, yeah, the stream, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Henley, like when we're in that back room, like touches Roscoe's shoulder and goes, I don't trust her. She's a desperate lady looking for a desperate way out and would do anything.
She's frustrated about this situation and she's overwhelmed, but I trust her word.
But if anything happens, she'll hand over Joanna in a heartbeat.
In 7 days.
No, I don't know if she'd wait if something happened.
I don't know that she's the goal is
She's desperate. You can see it on her face.
Everybody here is desperate. They're not getting food, they're not getting clean water, they're not getting anything.
They would trade a life for food at this point. People change when they're hungry.
If we can't trust the people that we've come here to help, then what's the point of helping them? She gave me her word, and all I can do is have faith in her. I don't think she's going to do anything. She's frustrated, and she's overwhelmed, and we all understand that situation, which is why we've got to act on this now, but I don't think any harm will come to Joanna before this is resolved. And if it does, you can throw me to the were creatures.
I trust you, but I don't trust her one lick.
Well, at least you trust me then. I've worked side by side with her enough to know that when she gives her word, she's going to hold to her word.
I don't like the desperate look in her eyes.
I don't either, but we'll hope for the best. But I think...
people change.
I know. But I do also believe that Joanna would be safer not going up with us.
Oh, I agree.
And if she stays down here in the cave with Willow...
But then she'd be with Willow, not Juna.
Right. So we tell Juna she's nearby, but that she stays here and we keep her safe.
I like that better. I don't want to put her directly into Juna's hands.
No, I agree.
Sorry, I needed to speak.
No, I mean, I appreciate your concern. And I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's, opinions and thoughts are valid and they help make the decisions to do stuff. But I think for our sake, it would be better going into a battle knowing that we can focus on the battle and not the dead weight at the back.
Absolutely.
And especially where this is going to be an uphill battle all the way up the hill. Mm-hmm.
I agree we need to leave her behind. I just didn't want to leave her in Juna's hands. Directly.
And Willow's still with us at this point, right?
Yeah, correct. He's like awkwardly.
He's like,
So I'm going to look at Willow and be like, we're trying to solve all the problems here. Would you be okay if Joanna stayed with you down in the cave for the next week or so while we go and mingle with some bad guys?
That's fine with me. I can keep an eye out on her.
And she can help find her some busy work she can do down there so she's not just sitting there twiddling her thumbs, picking her nails, crushing some kale or something.
Oh, you don't crush kale.
he just eats it. Oh, you don't crush kale.
I'm sure I could find her something to do, I guess.
I would appreciate it.
And he's like, look, you see him very cautiously, like always eyeing the door as you guys are. He seems to be kind of rushed to go.
Okay.
But yeah, I could find something for her to do.
Is everything okay?
Juna scares me.
Rightly so.
And she's pretty smart. I mean, she's probably watching this place right now. And if she doesn't see you guys leave, she might think something that you guys are maybe still here. I don't know how long she's going to stay or if she's going to post somebody out there. I don't want her finding this place.
Well,
Rochelle just was very strict about keeping this secret.
Yes, rightly so.
Because it's one of those things of like, if
the were creatures get out. If Juna found her way down there, or if anybody found their way down there, and then they got bit by a were creature, they would have the knowledge of coming through this place and get loose.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big worries that we've had. That somebody might get bit and get their way out. And trying to contain these things, and she's pretty stubborn, that Juna.
I don't think right now there's anything to worry about with her.
But okay, let's talk
just,
on the way.
Yep,
talk on
let's
the way.
go. So the longer we're here, the more likely someone's to walk through the door and be like, "Hey, you don't belong here."
Yeah. Henley braces herself while Willow's removing the rug and opening the thing.
He opens the trapdoor. You guys go back down. And you see him as he starts climbing down. He's the last one in. He closes it and you see him pull this little string. And you can just see kind of the light that was up in his room just kind of disappear. And he continues on down. I think that's a good place to end. You guys are now back together, getting ready to decide what exactly to do. Okay, thank you guys for listening so much. We've loved the interactions that we've had with you guys over Twitter, over Messenger. Keep listening. Share us with everybody that you know.
Special thanks to D.A. Nichols for writing our songs and music for this podcast. And also, a special thanks to Realmwalker, freesound.org, and Monument Studios for additional music and sound effects.
I am DM Dave, and to the right we have...
Fenrir the Fantastic.
Roscoe the Man.
Lila and Garotha.
Boudreaux the Gator.
And Henley.
And until next time, we unroll the scroll to tell the tale. Bye.